Welcome back. Well, coming up on November 19th, which is next Tuesday, Laguna Woods Christian Women's Connection is going to be having their monthly meeting, their buffet luncheon, and the theme of this is trinkets and treasures. So I'd like to welcome Chris Ramirez here today, and Chris is, of course, with the Christian Women's Connection. But also I'd like to welcome Gina Watson, who's been on our show many times, South Bay Jewelry, and of course the Legacy Collection. And it was good to see you back.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And I'm so excited about the Women's Christian group that I'll be speaking at next Tuesday.
Yes.
So
Chris, are we.
Yeah, it's going to be fabulous.
So first, let me talk with you, Chris, because you know you folks have this every month.
Yes, we do.
And every month you have a couple things going on. You usually have a featured guest speaker and kind of a theme going on. And this time you, of course, have Gina. Then you also have Lona Beardsley, who is a teacher, counselor, and joyful mother of 8. That would be hard to be joyful with 8, but anyway.
Lorna is really inspiring.
I'm kidding.
Yes, I've heard her before, and it's quite amazing to hear her life story, her family story, the building of their family, I'll put it that way. Her background, which contributes certainly very positively to the role that she's played in her family's life, as well as being a very lengthy, I say lengthy, she's had quite a role of speaking in our Christian Women's Connection group. But
now I have a question here. She's not part of the famous Beardsley family. Do you know that family?
You know, I don't.
Okay.
Something to find out.
If anybody doesn't know about that, long before you heard of the Duggars, you know, the 19 kids and counting, or 28 kids, or whatever it is,
on TV,
there was the Beardsley family. And they had like all these different, you know, 20 kids or something.
I'll have to be listening and paying better attention this time.
Yeah, I have no clue, but that name rang a bell, and I'm going, Yeah.
Well, again, we want to remind, this gets publicized about our luncheon monthly in the Globe, and it's open to people of all backgrounds. We say it, you know, Christian Women's Connection, but we want to bring in ladies to just meet other ladies here in the community. They can bring guests. It's at our beautiful Clubhouse 7 across from the 19th restaurant. We have a gorgeous venue, and Tomas Catering, they do a fabulous job every month. It is a buffet, so if there are dietary problems or restrictions that people might have, it's pretty accommodating that way. We do ask ladies to make reservations. It's only $14.
It's only $14.
Really, in our society today, it's very manageable, and you get a great lunch.
That is for $14.
The problem I find with eating their beautiful lunch is I come out of there, and then it seems like by 5 I still want more food. I'm going, what happened here? Because I've already had all this wonderful balance.
Yes.
you know. But we also have other ways to meet women if the luncheon date doesn't always work, in case people are newer to hearing about us, even though you may have lived in the community, or even if they're newer in the community. But we have a couple of Bible studies, and I think, do we have a flyer up here?
You have on Wednesday, you have your tea.
Yes, we do.
And then you have the another one, Tuesday and Wednesday, so.
And I'm part of the Wednesday group, which is local here in the village. Our Tuesday Bible study is conducted by our current chair, Leroy Kincaid, in her home, which is a little bit more Newport, Irvine area. In addition, we're going to have special music by, I'm going to look at his name to say it correctly, Jason Lagaska, and I'm told he's wonderful. So it's always fun to go out as ladies and just be with other women and have good food and great music and a wonderful, inspiring speaker. And additionally, then to have somebody from our community who comes out as a wonderful feature. And this is always an exciting feature when we start talking about jewelry and our special items. So should we just segue?
And Gina, you know, they have you billed as a gemologist, which you are. However, lately, since you know, you've been coming on and off for a couple years or more, you've been talking about more of the legacy program, which deals with folks that have artifacts, antiques, all kinds of different things, collectibles.
Things that are of value that family members maybe do not know what the values are.
Yeah.
So my specialty is to sort through them for the families, help them prepare their estates. Look at the values of the items and what to do with them.
Yes.
What to maybe leave for family members and what maybe to sell now that they can acquire, the money and use it for their welfare.
Right.
So I brought some items that I'm hoping at the meeting on Tuesday, I would invite the guests to bring things and I will be happy to give them some evaluations. Now, I sell all over the world. I'm an auction company online. I work with the clients and I find the best ways of either turning their items into money, depending on the best way to source it out, either selling it outright for sterling, because sterling is very high right now. So I have some samples of flatware, there's a cigarette compact, there's candlesticks, all these things that people really don't know unless I can shuffle through them. They might be dishes, bowls that are real, that maybe are not. So it's not unlikely that I go to homes or that people bring their items into my office in Laguna Woods. So that would be the sterling. The jewelry as well. I brought a collection of more costume items. These are higher end pieces that have value that people don't really think that they do. So we go through these and I'm able to muster through some of the bigger designer names. We put those online depending on if they have time to do that or if they want to just cash it out, as well as their gold and their jewelry. Now, gold's going high right now. It's taking a nice jump.
What's gold at right now?
Right now, it's at right around 14.
Okay.
So it's doing well. Now, I brought these figurines because a lot of people don't know what to do with them.
Yes.
They can't find buyers. And I have a lot of Chinese buyers on the internet. I have people that are in the Middle East and they're buying jade, especially the Chinese. The Asian customers are buying a lot of the jade. So I really recommend that they bring them in. There's a difference here. This is a soapstone and this is actually jadeite.
Okay. Yeah.
So you'll see the difference. And I can help evaluate those once I see the estate.
I didn't realize, if I may interrupt you, soapstone was that pearlescent.
Well, soapstone's in many different colors.
Okay.
It's it actually, you can almost feel like it's more of a soapy feeling.
Okay.
And the jadeite is more pristine and translucent. And so that's how the value is all going to be based on. Now I have this out because many people don't know what to do with their ivory. And ivory, of course, is banned and it can't be sold. So I have different recommendations. I do estate appraisals, so family members will know what the values are. This can be for a whole household full of furnishings, paintings, room by room. And these figurines we can look at as determining whether they are bone or whether they're ivory and come up with prices.
Okay.
Just recently I did a big estate and we had elephant tusk and all kinds of things which helped the family resolve what the values would be.
Okay.
So that's just another little area that I can help them with.
That's an interesting point you have because obviously, we don't want to get back into the days of harvesting of ivory.
Right.
But I didn't know that if somebody has something that's 100 years old, they can't sell an antique piece, or I'm confused about that.
Okay, the ivory, if they have over 100 years old, and if they have the documentation, they can sell it. So ivory is very temperamental. You cannot sell it, but you can have it appraised so the family members know what it is. And then from that point, they can disperse it through the family. They can decide who wants what. It can be used for their tax purposes, their CPA purposes, their inheritance purposes, and of course helping the family members dissolve without getting into a war as far as what people are going to be taking from the estate. Okay. So that's my job.
Okay, and the reason I kind of bring that up is because as far as my legacy goes, on my father's side, My grandparents, who owned a business, an importing business up in the Bay Area years ago, mainly women's clothing that they would sell to like Macy's and things like that, they had all this kind of stuff. And I mean, they had a whole like Buddhist temple made of ivory and all that, something we, wouldn't do today, but I don't know what happened to it. Honestly, I think when my dad moved to Santa Fe, New Mexico, half that stuff he literally just left.
Absolutely.
I mean, he was like, I don't want to move this stuff.
It's unbelievable. People don't want to do anything with it, and yet the buyers are out there. That's why I went online.
And a lot of jade.
They're paying. I have someone right now buying pieces that is in the Middle East, and I deal with a politician in Switzerland. These are all people that are waiting to see what I can give them.
And I know the point is,
online.
You've talked about this before. Yes, a lot of the stuff is the legacy of the family, but more and more and more people are like, what am I going to do with this? It might be we have a beautiful china set at home that belonged to my wife's grandparents. I don't know the last time we used it, 6, 7, 8 years ago, because you got to bring it out, you got to hand wash it, you got to, so it's put away. I'm not saying we want to get rid of it, but I think more and more you're seeing younger generations, good or bad, they may be appreciated there, but they're like, what am I going to ever do with this?
No, they don't.
Yeah, the kids don't want it.
This, the next generation.
Maybe they'll have one little piece as a
token.
memory.
Moving along, because you bring this great
so
wealth and knowledge, and so with our ladies coming then on Tuesday, were you suggesting that we bring an item?
Absolutely.
Or something?
I'm going to be there before and after and during. And I'm going to have a table set up, and I'd like for them to bring it in. It's free evaluation.
Wonderful.
I want them to ask me as many questions as they want, and I will lead them into some good solutions.
So whether it's a jewelry item or some of the other things that we're looking
collectibles,
at here,
anything like that, please bring it in.
Yeah.
And I'll be available.
And
Also,
again, we can have further time. You're going to give out some information so that some of us that aren't as familiar with you or where you're located can find you. Then.
Yes.
And you start at 11:45 to 1:30, so you're going to be before and after that?
Yes, I was invited to come before and just be available for anybody that would like to start bringing the items into me. And then during the event, I know there's a small amount of time that I'll be able to speak, but afterwards I'll be there as well.
Great.
Yeah.
All right, so again, that is next Tuesday.
Yeah.
And that is the 19th. So please give them a call, because they do have the buffet lunch going on.
Yes.
And so it's important they have to figure out how many people will be there.
And we always take walk-ins in case some dynamics change in your agenda, and you can come.
But it's only $14.
It is.
I mean, it's
and
great
again,
fun.
if you've never been, I can't encourage our residents to really consider coming and trying this out. One of our speakers, her mom actually lived in the village, and she invited the whole neighborhood of women that were available, and so it was really fun. We had a lot of local neighbors from a particular group, and several of them are continuing to come back now too, and they're really enjoying it. So anyway, it's always fun to come on and to encourage our community to think about Christian Women's Connection here in Laguna Woods, and again, our other activities that they can be a part of. We would encourage, in case you can't get to the luncheon and you want to try it out, come to one of the smaller groups that meet. Again, we're really very friendly and just embracing.
Oh, I can speak for that. I've been involved with the group for years, coming as guest speakers and knowing many of the ladies, so they're lovely.
Yeah. They are.
Yes.
And committed.
Thank you very much.
Good to be here.
Good to see you both.
Thank you so much.
And hope to see you both again.
Okay.
All
Thanks so much.
We'll
Good to be here today.
Yeah,
Thank
we'll
you.
be right back.
All right.
Okay.